Are you suggesting that when such enormous amounts of money was wiped off the stock markets, that this was foreseen by Trump, or even deliberate, and that when he backed down from these enormous tariffs and kept them at this new base
Mhm.
rate of 10%, that was somehow all part of the plan, or do you not accept that this might have taken Trump by surprise, and therefore that my argument about chaos might have some force? And also, just secondarily, even
Sure.
if you're right, even if it is all part of a plan,
Mhm.
part of that strategy is still uncertainty, and that makes it difficult for a country like the United Kingdom to know how to progress, how to proceed with America when there is such uncertainty at the heart of the strategy, if it is a strategy.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a contradiction in that. Donald Trump has repeatedly said the United States has to introduce unpredictability into its negotiating tactics. And over the years, his argument has long been that what American diplomats have been doing from the very beginning is saying, this is our agreement, this is what we want out of this negotiation. Now let's begin negotiations. And his whole shtick is, right, you don't go in there and basically tell people what you want out of this. You deliberately introduce unpredictability. If you want a 5% agreement, you don't say we want 5%, you say we want 25% agreement. And these are some of the figures which have been banded around. And it is deliberately introducing unpredictability into the negotiation process. And I'm the first to admit, my wife's in finance at a very senior level, and I know firsthand that the worst thing for the markets is unpredictability. But one of the reasons I think he's doing this so early in his term is to get that dip out of the way. We've seen markets already rebound in many ways with regards to this, so that when there is an initial short-term loss, which has certainly been engaged in, Matt, I don't disagree with that, but you're going to get time for that to rebound into the second half of the year, whilst you're starting to renegotiate these bilaterals, and that's very much part of the policy, I think.
So he won't be concerned about the downgrading of American growth and the downgrading of the global growth by the IMF.
Well, I think that there's what's that line about, economists were put on this earth to make astrologers look accurate. As long as you can start to see some degree of rebounds in the second half of this year. I was in London a few weeks ago and someone was asking me for a prediction, and I'm happy to make it here. I think that the markets will be back to where they were before these tariffs were introduced by the autumn. The most important thing for Trump is to get this agreed, a series of bilaterals agreed, so he can move into 2026, which of course is a midterm election year of great significance, so that he can start talking about, look, I've made these promises and I'm delivering upon them.